He was just 22 years young and had a promising NFL career ahead of him when it came to an abrupt end.
You know, it was 4 months ago to the day that Jacksonville native and former Miami Dolphins lineman Kendrick Norton was involved in a terrible car crash that severed his left arm.
Our sports director Chris Porter and photographer Troy Kless made the trip to Miami, where they sat down to speak with Norton about life after football.
Trinity Christian alum Kendrick Norton was entering his second NFL season, and he had just signed here with the home team, the Miami Dolphins, back in December. Norton was looking to make a splash along the Dolphins' defensive line, but after a serious car accident one early July morning, his NFL dreams came to an end. In a one-on-one interview, Norton talked about what happened that morning and how he's turning pain into purpose. Inside their South Florida home, Kendrick Norton and his girlfriend Kara once again had to relive one of the most terrifying days of their lives.
Since you lost part of your arm, how has your life changed? How is it different now?
It just shifted from being, it being all about football to now me trying to transition and basically find I would say a new path in life.
Let's go back to that night. Where were you coming from? Where were you going?
We had went out for a little while to go support one of our mutual friends, and we were on the way back home at about like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and we had the truck, the accident.
Miami-Dade County Police and Fire, what is the address of the emergency?
No, it's from 836 going on to 826. There's a car flips over, there's a man, his arm is bleeding very severely.
In the early morning hours of July 4th, Kendrick and his girlfriend Kara were making their way home here on the 826 expressway when he made contact with another car, spun around 4 times, and flipped.
I tried to get up, I rolled over my stomach, I was trying to get up, and that's when I realized that I was missing a piece of my arm, and then my focus changed on getting us out of the car, so then I ended up kicking the airbag out of the window, and then we ended up crawling out of the car.
What was going through your mind at the time, if you can remember?
Just like, wow, like this can't be for real, so, and I was just, just drifting like in and out of consciousness a little bit, so it was just crazy, just being, that close to death.
And what's wrong with it? Is it bleeding?
It's literally missing, like the half of his arm is missing.
He's doing okay, so I'm talking to him as he's laying on the ground like, don't close your eyes, don't close your eyes.
Arm is missing.
I'm letting the fire department know that he's missing an arm, okay?
Right.
Try to apply pressure on that wound, okay?
So I'm like, you can't close your eyes, squeeze my leg to let me know, and me and you're gonna talk. So I'm just talking to him, telling him like all type of like, babe, you're a champ, you're a warrior.
You see there was a rollover?
Yeah, rolled over, he lost his arm. He's conscious, but he lost his arm. They're helping him right now, but he lost his arm.
Kendrick lost half the blood in his body before the ambulance got to the hospital. Kira stayed at the scene, determined to find Kendrick's arm.
His arm was under the truck, so they were waiting on the tow truck to come to lift up the truck. And I'm like, I wasn't leaving without the arm.
Kira arrived at the hospital 20 minutes after Kendrick with his arm inside this red bag. She had hoped doctors could reattach it. Kendrick was in a coma for 2 days. When he came out of the coma, doctors told him his arm could not be reattached.
The first people I see, my mom and Shakir standing over me, and all my family, my dad and grandmother, and everybody was, just in the room, and everybody was smiling and happy. So I was, I was happy, and then, after that wore off, and I, saw everyone, then I became filled with anger, at the situation and what had happened, and to know my career was over.
We just said, baby, you're alive. Like, we took a severe turning, flipping over, like, we're alive. Why are you complaining? And after that, he was like, you know what? You're right.
Kendrick spent 2 weeks in the hospital where he had several surgeries and lost 30 pounds.
I kind of sucked it up and then, washed my hands with it, and I've been, rolling from there. Now
to this day, he embraces it. Like, he doesn't cover it up. Sometimes we go out here, wear it without the sleeve, and I'll be like, okay, you showing off, little Ken.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I call it that because I don't like Nub. Nub is like, that makes me cry when I hear Nub. He's a warrior. I know he was a beast, but he's a warrior. It's no words. I'm lost for words. People come to me all the time and say, how is he really? I'm like, what you see is what you get. No, is he mentally? what you see is what you get.
I just think it comes from just knowing that you are the only thing that can hold you back. You know, always, you know, get up and get out and go. You can still accomplish things and get things you want out of life.
Hi, I'm Shakir. This is my honey, Ken, and this is mini Ken right here.
He and Kira have started a new channel on YouTube. It's a show called Ken and Kira New Beginnings.
Like and share, subscribe, all that.
They're allowing the world to see how Kendrick is adapting to life without part of his arm.
No matter what you're going through, you still can live life and have fun. So
What drives you?
just the will to be great. You know, I'm going to be great at something. You know, I didn't have the chance of being great at the NFL.
Kendrick now speaks around the country, sharing his story with hopes of inspiring others.
Never stop, you know, keep going. Nothing is as important as what the value you place on it.
Despite all that you've gone through, you feel like it's been worth the sacrifice?
I say yes. Me losing my arm and the amount of people that I'm going to be able to touch and the amount of lives I'm going to be able to change from me losing my arm, I would say is worth it.
Has it drawn you guys closer together?
Yes, it really has. We're a team now. We're inseparable now.
Kendrick Norton says he's teamed up with some local banks and car dealerships and will be hosting blood drives at 5 of the biggest high schools here in Miami. By the way, he says he's also enjoying his role as a football analyst here in South Florida. In Miami, Chris Porter, First Coast Sports.
What an amazing story, such an inspirational story. Right now on firstcoastnews.com, hear how and when Kendrick Norton will begin the process of getting a prosthetic arm, where he's at on starting his new foundation called Kendrick Norton's Angels Initiative.
Plus, as you heard Chris say just a few moments ago, Norton is working as a football analyst. You'll hear his thoughts on Trinity Christian, the Miami Hurricanes, and even the Jaguars' Gardner Minshew. It's all on our website.